Good morning. None of this is too terribly important, but for me, especially like we've had decent amount of people join with soccer this year, so it is important for me to set reasonable expectations. I think all this information is valuable for anyone, but if you don't want to listen, then whatever. But I just wanted to say a few things as we get started for the real Big Five leads in the season in totality. None of this is written down or prepared or whatever. So if I jump around, I apologize, but I think I have a pretty good idea of the things I want to say. The first thing is that there is a significant amount of variance in soccer, and especially the way that I bet it and the edges that I perceive. If I wanted to give you 130, 140 money lines all day on sides and be excessively choosy on sides, I could do that. And, maybe we would hit a win rate of 58% or 57% or something like that. But I don't want to approach soccer that way. And I never have because of the market accessibility and the way that I think there are value in my perceived edges in this league because of all, or in this sport rather, because of all the leagues there are. And I just feel that books are still struggling to price this right. A perfect example of that is the way Circa prices their market. Generally, Circa is a market maker in sports, and they are pretty clueless on soccer offerings. And that's just a good example. But I say all that to say that I'm going to be betting a lot of props. I'm going to be betting a lot of alternative markets and using sides more as cover for those actions. So what is the result of that? Well, the result of that is, like I said, high variance. There are going to be days in here that are just amazing, where we expose ourselves to little risk and we do quite well. And we've had those days. Anyone that's been around for a few years knows, what that looks like. But there are also going to be days that completely suck. And that's kind of just the way it goes when you bet soccer. The important thing for me is to make sure that you're not betting one out of the way you should bet, out of your bankroll, or you're staying within your bankroll, and two, that you're not picking and choosing the days that you think are going to go well and the days that are going to go bad. If you don't want to bet all the bets, don't bet all the bets. That is totally up to you, obviously. But what I would encourage you to do is, if you're going to pick a day to bet, then bet all of the bets. And if you're going to pick a day then to not bet, then don't bet any of the bets, because there's nothing worse than telling a few picks and those being losers and then the rest being winners. And then, all of us are celebrating these winners and you're left there disappointment. I have made a cognizant effort in self-reflection of my results from the past few years to reduce some of my volume, and I'm going to continue doing that as well as I can. But at the same time, there are 5 major leagues, and there are countless of other leagues that I follow and I have perceived edges on, and I'm going to continue betting those leagues. I'm going to do my best again to reduce our exposure, and to hopefully increase high volume on small bets that have a ton of upside, and hit them at a good clip. But at the same time, like I said, there's going to be a lot of volume in soccer. But I'm going to continue to do my best to reduce that as much as I can. Another note about variance is we've had, I don't know, a decent summer. I think in totality of everything that I've posted, it's like plus 3.2 units So more so has served as entertainment than anything else. But last night in Netherlands and Spain is a perfect example of the uniqueness of soccer and the heartbreak of soccer betting. The Netherlands has a penalty kick in the 83rd, 84th minute, and it is taken away from VAR. I thought it was a good, perfect penalty, but that doesn't really matter. And then 10 minutes later, in extra time, Spain scores. That is an example of me feeling like I'm on the right side, but the result's not happening. Of course, something like that would happen in basketball, or and to a lesser extent, it happens in football. But generally, there's so many plays that happen in a basketball game that if you're losing on a last second buzzer beater, there's a 70-80% chance that you were probably on the wrong side to begin with. That's not the case for soccer. If they want to open up expected goal markets for us to bet on and who wins those battles, I think that we would all do pretty well. But unfortunately, that doesn't exist. I just say that to again remind you that there is going to be hot streaks and cold streaks. This is the 10-month season, and I am betting it almost daily that there is action, probably 5 days out of the week. I don't think that you're going to find pretty much anybody in this space that's the type of leagues I do and does it as well as I do. I remain confident in that. I think I've gotten past the point to where if we have a losing streak that I need to like say anything about it, because I think the people that have been in here long enough know what I can do, and I think that I've done enough to earn the trust of the people that have been around. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that it's going to start slow and it's going to be great by the end of the year, or it's going to start great and it's going to dwindle off. But none of this ever goes in some type of linear progression. Right now, I feel like I have some really good reads on teams that are not really feeding into the market yet. And I feel really well about that. I'm very excited about this season. And we're going to do our best to attack those edges. But again, if they're the wrong edges and things go bad at the start, then it's time to readjust and get it back later. But what I want you to understand and take away from all of this is that there are going to be ups and downs. But at the end of the day, I feel very good about being profitable. And I'm very confident in myself to deliver those results. Last thing is that generally, I'm going to try to do this even better this year because last year it was a little bit hit or miss. But generally, the way this is going to look when we have these Saturday games in La Liga in Germany and England is that the games, the size and totals will be posted the night before. Especially when you have like these 7:30 games, 7:30 in the morning games on a Saturday. I know most people aren't going to be able to watch that, so I'll try to post them the night before. But any props won't be added in general, unless there's like some massive edge. I thought that Nicholas Jackson, and especially Mo Salah at plus 100 to score assist was a massive edge. I went ahead and took those, and I know those people are starting. But in general, there won't be any prop ads until the lineups are released, which is anywhere from an hour and a half to hour before the games, depending on the league. So if you listen to all this, I appreciate it. I appreciate you trusting me. It's not something I take lightly. I assure you that there are a lot of people that are out there just taking darts or taking heavy juice to inflate their win percentage. I have zero cares about either of those things. My biggest interest is closing line value and return on investment. Those are the things I care about in soccer. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure those are good numbers this season. And I'm really looking forward to this year. Thank you for listening, and let's have a good day today.